Welcome back to the Anything Goes podcast, episode 50. Super excited.
Big number.
Very big number. I feel like 50 is a milestone number. It's definitely a
Definitely.
milestone number for like age.
Where do you see yourself when you're 50? Like,
I
what's.
was just gonna I was just gonna ask you the same thing. When I'm 50, I really hope that like I'm not like working, but I'm like making money. So like I really hope that we are well into television by the time that I am
I love
50.
it. Oh, I was about to come
Uh
at you for a second. I was just.
maybe like not maybe not like as far as us having a TV show, I want to have our grips on a network the same way that like ridiculousness
Mm,
has fucking MTV's nuts in a sling. You know what I'm saying? Like something like
yeah,
that.
bro. You cannot turn the channel on and not see ridiculousness. Like, if
Yeah.
Rob Dyrdek is not a billionaire by now, then he fucked up along
No, he is.
somewhere.
He
He is?
100% is. Yeah, he
Oh, he
is.
better be. Because if he's not, then somebody fucked up with his contracts
He
along the way. Dude
he's
is
still
gotta be stacking bread.
yo, bro, off of ridiculousness alone, he's had like three other clip TV shows become spin-offs from ridiculousness. And then like he still receives like insane amount of residuals from like all the episodes and all of the shows that he's built on MTV and shit.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Is I couldn't name you my favorite ridiculousness episode or like ridiculousness guest. I don't think he has a favorite episode. You can have a favorite episode because it's just a pile of clips. But
I think I was more a fan. I was definitely a fan of like so I definitely grew up watching MTV in like the mornings and shit like that. I was watching MTV probably way maybe a little earlier than I was supposed to.
it was never really like vulgar like that.
There was never nothing crazy on there, but there was definitely more like adult TV shows, like made for adult TV shows on there, like all the dating shows that they used to have on there, like fucking Next and like Celebrity Room Raiders. Room Raiders was crazy on
Bro,
there.
I used to love the one where your parents gotta pick the parents pick the
That
guy or the
one,
girl that you're
that
dating.
one,
That one
yeah,
was
that one
that
was
was my
dope.
shit, bro.
So yeah, but I was watching that when I was probably like fucking what
Like
10
in
years old.
teens, young teens.
Nah, like definitely like before the teens. So probably like 10 years old, 12 around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even before watching those shows, and me and my wife was just me and Teresa were just talking about this probably like a day or two ago. But there's definitely more days when you finally like listen to this podcast. But we I told her because I came across a TikTok and it's literally just a like I guess you could say it's like a old school MTV fan page of like
Wow.
songs. Remember when they had you would wake up in the morning at like 7 o'clock and they have MTV AM and it'd just be a collection of like music videos that they play for like an hour or two straight.
hmm
And on that TikTok fan page they play like clips from all the songs that used to always play.
Do
Like
you remember the name of this so people could see it?
I don't remember the name of it. I don't even
Okay.
think I got to save it. I think actually I was watching it and like going through a bunch of different like TikToks that they made and like my phone died. So I
Mm.
didn't get to save it. But I went straight like down into nostalgia after that. I was just telling my wife like, yo, I would wake up every morning before school. Before anything, I would turn the TV on, go straight to MTV and like hear fucking uh Chance the Rapper when he came out with his first mixtape, Acid Rap
Chance the
video.
Rapper. Wow.
Yeah, Chance the Rapper. Then immediately after that, it'd be like the song that they just put in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie at the end. By what is it? Florence and the Machine, Dog Days. That song.
I
That
haven't seen
song
the
will
movie,
come
so I
on.
can't comment.
Oh well, I mean it's a the song that's in there is like a great fucking song, but that song will come on. Uh, anything by like Paramore at the time was always on there. Uh, Yeah, it was insane.
What was your? We'll get right back to the 50-year-old question, but real quick, what was your go-to show to watch as a young kid that you was not supposed to watch?
That I was not supposed to
Like you
watch.
wasn't supposed to be watching. Like for example,
Probably
my
Family Guy. Probably Family Guy. Like
yeah,
fam,
South Park, Family Guy.
fam. I wasn't a big South Park guy, but I would watch Family Guy, and then like I would try and watch Robot Chicken, but
Yes.
Robot Chicken was like a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie
Nah, with
because
the claymation shit, they just went going off.
yeah.
Nah,
There
Seth
was
Green was dirty. He had a dirty
yeah,
mind.
there was too many times because like the time that Robot Chicken came on, it was like just before I was supposed to be going to bed. So my
11:30. Adult
and then
Swim.
my mom was still awake.
Mm-hmm.
So like sometimes she would come in the room and see me watch these crazy ass cartoons, and she'd be like, "Yo, bro, you're gonna fucking like
She knew what it was.
what Robot Chicken?"
Yeah, like she knew when she came in the room and she saw the claymation getting fucked on screen. She knew, yo,
Yeah, she knew that this was like not for me to be watching right now.
yo, Robot Chicken was crazy. I think that was the
Yeah,
worst of the shows, but at least South Park and
but it was good though. I mean, it was funny. It was funny as fuck, but it was just like definitely not for like kids.
I ain't gonna lie, South Park wanted me to get testicular cancer at one point. Remember when what's his name, Randy? You know him? Well, sounded crazy.
I didn't watch South Park like
Yeah, I
that.
was about to say that sounded crazy. You've never seen the show, but like, so this is this episode for those that don't know where Randy, the best character on the show, is the father of one of the kids. I think it was.
Oh, is that the episode where he's like carrying his nuts in like a wheelbarrow and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
to
remember
get
that.
the weed cards and shit, so he could smoke
Yeah,
weed
yeah.
legally.
Hmm.
Yeah, that made me want it. I was like, yo, imagine having nuts like that and just fucking bouncing on that shit. You never would have to walk. I honestly, as a kid, thought that was cool. I was like, why don't people
That's
want
insane.
testicular cancer? I want
I
testicular
think
cancer. I saw we
I
talking
think
about
those
great for
I
cancer.
think those were one of those episodes that I definitely came across, and I was just like, yeah, South Park is just not for me, bro. South Park is
Yeah,
just like
that episode
South,
made you realize it was not for you.
yeah, cause like South Park is just not my type of comedy. Like that's I
I
don't
don't think
know.
it's that far off of Family Guy though. I think Family Guy is more. I think South Park is more political.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
not a political funny kind of guy.
but like I don't see the humor that far off from.
It's really not that far off, but I feel like and this is probably sounds like really stupid to judge one over the other based on this, but I feel like the voices and the animation in that show is just too gimmicky for me.
On what
Meanwhile,
show?
like on
South Park?
meanwhile on South Park, but meanwhile everybody on Family Guy is like voiced by like three people.
Voiced by different people. Yeah, Meg.
Voiced by like three people.
Yeah.
Because you have Seth
Mm,
MacFarlane that's voicing like Peter, Stewie, and Brian, and then you have uh, Seth Green as Chris, and then you have
they go Seth
Mila
Green again.
Kunis,
I love
Mila
Mila
Kunis,
Kunis.
Mila
She's so
Kunis
cool.
as Meg, and
Yeah.
then yeah, that I mean, yeah, I don't know. I was just more of a Family Guy.
I couldn't get into Futurama. I never got that stuff.
Futurama I couldn't do either.
Which is funny because this week it actually
But that
comes back on Hulu. But still.
yeah, but that was like I wasn't watching comedy bullshit. I was watching Comedy Central, but I was watching Comedy Central for the actual like stand-ups. Like they always used to have like
You
these
was watching
30-minute.
stand up comedy as a kid.
Yeah, as a kid.
What is
I
that?
remember
That's weird.
My dad made me watch Eddie Murphy's Raw stand up
You know what? Knowing your
and
dad,
Delirious when
I
I was
can
like
see that.
10.
Knowing your dad from the brief time I've been around him, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That's why you the way
I
you are.
yeah, I attribute most of the funny shit that I know to be because of what my dad allowed me to watch as a kid that I shouldn't have been watching.
Yeah, no, watching one of the most vulgar stand up comedy shows ever as a young kid, it's pretty my dad didn't even do that for me.
Yeah,
So
that shit is definitely not for kids, man. But like,
no,
I'm
it's the
25.
most vulgar comedy show of all time.
That and I watched both. I watched Raw and then immediately watched Delirious right after that.
And your dad put you on. Why?
Yes, because my dad was just into like watching everything. Like my
I
dad, there
know.
was my dad, there was my dad is like the weirdest dude ever. He's like a fucking
No, your dad's a character. Your dad's
yeah. My
definitely
dad,
a
my
character.
yeah, he is. I mean, he's a fucking 5'6" Puerto Rican light skinned man, and he's built like a pit bull,
You think he
and
has a short man complex?
no, I don't think he has a short man complex, but like he just like he listens to, and he's like born in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So
No
he's
shit.
like, yeah,
That's my hood,
but
so I
like
respect it.
this guy like listens to all different kinds of music. He listens to Spanish music and doesn't understand like a word of it, but not like this new Spanish music like fucking reggaeton and like Bad Bunny and shit. He'll listen to like the old school like
Anthony
salsa
Santos.
music and stuff. Yeah, like shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't know any of the words, but like, and he doesn't dance, but like he listens to that. He'll fucking listen to like old school R&B music from like the fucking, or like old school jazz music from like the fucking like 80s and fucking 70s music and shit like that. So when I was growing up, before I was able to watch or listen to any music or movies or any kind of media of my time, my dad made sure that like I listened to stuff that he was listening to when he was growing up. Because now you kind of, when you do that, you kind of have a better appreciation for like what's coming out in your time. Because like I could fucking talk about Kanye West until I'm blue in the face, but there's been multiple times that like just yeah, but there's been multiple times that I've listened to Kanye West's music and heard the different type of samples or instrumentals that he would use, and I'd be like, oh, I heard this in a fucking you know song from the 80s or a song from the early 90s and stuff like that, and I wasn't even born.
You was still rapping Kanye when he was going through his Jew hating phase? Jewish? I don't know if
Uh,
you can say Jew. Can you say Jew?
yeah,
Yeah.
Jewish. You can say Jew.
Can you say Jew? Do you
I
even
think
know any
so.
Jews? I don't know any Jews
I do
personally.
know Jews. I know. I know.
No,
I
you don't.
know.
They're
Yeah, I
kind
do
of
know
they're
Jews.
kind of rare if you think about it.
I had a Jewish person at my wedding.
Did you really?
Yeah, my dad's boss. My dad's boss is Jewish.
White rich guy.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
When we met him, he was living in Trump Towers.
Oh,
Like across
oh,
the one I don't know if there's multiple Trump Towers in the
there
city,
is
but the one that's across the street from the Berg, what's that fancy the store? Bergdorf Gooden or
Bergen
something like that.
Goodman, the one that we'll
Yeah,
shop at when we're 50.
yeah, that one. That one. But
To bring it all back
yeah,
home.
so trying to, reel it back in. But yeah, when
But
I'm 50, when I'm 50, hopefully we'll be like, you know, heading up our own show on a very ambitious network, or trying to revive a very dead network and like make it our own, which would probably be like MTV or like VH1 or some shit.
oh, MTV's dead now. It's
Really?
dead. Oh,
I don't even
if
have
you
I
have
don't
to
have cable.
rely on one, if you have to rely on reruns off of one show to put the lights on in the building, you're dead.
What about
Dead.
Comedy Central? Is Comedy Central still a network?
Dead.
I don't have cable.
It's still
And
active. They're dead. Their biggest show is Aquafina. I hate Aquafina, by the way. But Aquafina from
mm,
Queens, what do they got? They don't got no There's no specials they have. What, and
yeah,
you know,
no,
funny, watch us be which I mean, I wouldn't be mad if our show got picked up by Comedy Central.
that'd be
But
dope.
as we shit at
That'd be
Comedy
dope.
Central, it'd be fun. Well, I shit on Comedy Central. It's funny if they'd pick us up. But Comedy Central ain't active. They don't do shit. What do? They rely on reruns of
Yo,
shows.
I remember watching Comedy Central and watching again the half an hour blocks that they would do for like certain comics and shit. And I remember seeing Donald Glover there. I remember watching.
We don't talk about Donald Glover.
What do you mean?
He made a Drake diss. We don't talk about Donald Glover.
Oh my god, whatever. But and that was Childish Gambino that did that, not Donald Glover. But Donald Glover,
Touche.
Donald Glover. Who else? John Mulaney.
John Mulaney, the GOAT.
Uh,
The
I remember
GOAT.
when Dane Cook was big. He was on there.
Dane
Carlos
Cook. I haven't heard that name in mad long, bro.
Carlos Mencia.
We don't talk about him either.
Uh, who else?
Dave Chappelle, obviously. The man.
Dave
The
Chappelle,
GOAT.
obviously.
The GOAT.
Uh,
I think he's better than Eddie Murphy, personally.
Dave Chappelle. I
Yeah.
think it's definitely two different styles of comedy. Two different styles of comedy.
You know who I think is overrated, but I love him, but he's overrated as fuck? Kevin
Who?
Hart.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his stand-ups nowadays. I'm more a fan of watching his movies and seeing if his acting like
His acting's terrible.
gets better.
He's
Yeah,
the
but I watch.
same character in every movie.
Yeah, except for that one that he did with like Bryan Cranston, or that one where
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like
where
a
he played with
single,
where he was with the crippled dude.
or like the one that he did where he's like a
I
single
mean, I
parent,
don't like
like
this
when
with the
he's
crippled dude. That's crazy.
yeah, that's fucked up. But or the one where he plays the single dad. I think it was like a Netflix movie or something like that, because the mom
Sounds
passed
familiar.
away and he has to raise his like daughter by himself and stuff.
Pretty
But
sure
that
it's
was good.
terrible.
No, it was good. It was really
You
good.
sure?
Yeah.
What do you got on Rotten
Um,
Tomatoes? Let me
I
see.
have no idea.
You know, yeah, because his last album, I mean, guys, comedy album. But his last special, Reality Check on Peacock, couldn't watch it. Got through 10 minutes of it, and it was like, this is just. And we all know
It's
you
on
know what I'm
Peacock.
saying? Yeah,
I
Reality
didn't
Check.
know that came out. I didn't know that.
That's a bad sign.
I gotta go check it out now.
It's not a good sign. But he reminds me of Drake and the Fast and Furious franchise. They're popular, but there's no substance behind it. It's just,
Wow, that's a very big take coming from you as a Drake fan.
I know, I love Drake, but ever since
Someone's going stupid outside on the
you got to move out
motorcycle.
the ghetto, bro. This is why we need to get this podcast going.
Word. Comedy Central, help us out, yo.
Um, could you be disappointed if your girl or your partner don't buy you something that you really want? Or are you an asshole for expecting it? Like, I
Do
really
you,
want to
your
go to these
so
dates.
your question is, are you an asshole for feeling disappointed that your girl didn't get you something?
Yes, it's expensive.
Um,
After making it kind of obvious that you want this.
I feel like it all depends on what stage of the relationship that you're in. Like right now,
Mm,
like right now, like I'm fucking,
you're
I'm
married.
fucking married. I'm married. Me and my wife have been together
Like,
for
actually
eight
married.
years. 8 years, married for two.
Years.
Yeah, 8 years. 8
8
years.
years?
Been together for 8 years, married for the last two. And
Oh, you gotta die with her.
right now, like when I ask for things, I make it specifically clear, like, but she already knows me. She knows what I like, what I don't like, so I kind of don't really have to go too in when I ask for stuff. But I'll make it very clear, like, if you're trying to buy me one of three things, buy this one. And if
I
you
mean,
can't, and then I also give like a high low option.
what does a high-low
You know what I'm
option
saying?
mean?
So like if you're looking to go all out and ball on the high end of what I want, this is what I would like. But if you're trying to get me something nice and on the budget, this is what you can get
Have
me
you
on the
done
low,
that for your
and
25th birthday that's coming
I'll
up?
be satisfied. Uh,
I seen she already got you something.
yeah, she did. She definitely already got me something, and obviously it's what I ask for all the time, and it's fucking sneakers that I'm running out of
I'm
space
surprised
to
you even
put.
freely show it because you usually just like prefer to have it blurred behind you.
Yeah, you told me last week that my background is actually really nice, which
It's
I
nice.
mean, I don't understand how this fucking shoebox is everywhere. Teresa actually came in here and seen that my shit wasn't blurred, and she was like, "Don't you think it's kind of crazy that you have your shoeboxes right next to your refrigerator?" And I was just like, "Nah, I
You know
mean
what? I
they're
never
kind
really
of,
thought about that, but that's
but like it's kind of in the
crazy.
living, it's kind of in the living room though. Like
It's on the
it's
border. If you look at the
it's
wall,
more
come on.
it is on the border of the kitchen and the living room, but like 60% of the shoes in the columns are in the living room.
You're just screaming to the people, I have a small ass apartment. Because you have a
Nah, my
dog.
apartment goes. My apartment goes the other way.
You have a
Like
dog
right now,
cage
I'm
in the
on.
middle of the fucking shit as well. Who has a dog cage in the kitchen? That's what I want to know.
Do me a favor, mind your fucking
That's
business, all right?
crazy.
Next time, I'm just gonna fucking
Who's
blur my
dog
shit.
cage? People eat there.
Excuse me.
People eat there.
Yeah, I mean, my dog is. It's right here. I mean, it's in the living room, kind of.
It's on the border. When I see that line between the old wood and the tiles,
All you have to say, old wood.
it look like old wood. I ain't
It
holding
is
it.
old wood.
For the people listening, the cage, there's a line. On one hand is tiles, on the other hand is nice old wood.
Well, in 50 years, I'll be in a fucking penthouse, so I won't have to worry about it,
You
or
will
just a
be.
regular house.
You will be. My goal is for us.
We will be.
Well, no. Well, in 50 years, I don't want to be in a penthouse because I want to raise my kids in the house. I want them to have a
Well, I want to
backyard
raise my
around
kids in a house. I'm just saying that the penthouse is where we would go to record, not the living
that.
situation. Yeah, big brain,
I
big
ain't thought
brain.
about that. No, I want us on.
Exactly.
But you know what? I think media in 50 years is going to change so much that we don't even need. We can start our own network. That's my goal
I
personally.
think so.
I
I
want to
think so.
start our own network. Have the Anything Goes podcast be like a flagship thing, and like
Hmm.
work with
Kind of like
up and
Revo.
coming. Exactly, and then like, yo, you want to produce a podcast on our network? I think you're funny. I think you could host a podcast. You should get a podcast, or
But you know
you're
what's crazy
insightful
too?
about something.
I would probably if I had a network, right? I would probably have and there was like let's say the Twitch version of whatever a podcasting platform would be, right? But I would kind of have like like if people join the platform and they get famous on it or whatever and they become a very popular and successful podcast of their own aside from ours, instead of really focusing on promoting like the popular podcasts, I'd promote the guys like where we were 25 years prior, the up and coming guys, the guys that are like 50 episodes in that kind of took a break and coming back into it, want to get a real fresh, start, and give those guys like the fucking all the promotion in the world, you know,
But
have the little guys raking all the bread.
the thing is about this is what I tell up and coming podcasters, which is funny because I'm an up and coming podcaster myself. So, but I ain't gonna hold you. There's people that when we wanted to start a podcast, that be coming to me like, David, how do you start a podcast? They be saying shit like, I want to be like you. I'm like, bitch, I ain't even shit. We just took a year and a half off of a podcast break.
I
But
mean, it was a year and a half off to get our shit straight. You know what I mean? You
mostly
with
me.
finishing school, which is congratulations, and then me, getting in a better position, role, and
What
at my
I've
job and making more money.
but what I've learned is that our podcast is gonna suck. That's just how it is. Our
Yeah,
podcast sucks.
what are you talking about?
It's because we're gonna look back at this when we are episode 200, and we'll be like, yo, episode 50 sucked. You know why? Because we're building towards something. You ever seen?
Yeah,
So the
like
most popular podcast
you'll
out right now,
you'll watch.
Joe.
Don't get me wrong. You'll watch it and you'll be like, "Damn, this shit sucks." But look at these two young fucking studs with like the
Stallions
world in front of them.
episode, because I look back at episode 1, Animal Crossings and Prostitutes. Go find it on all prostitutes.
Audio
Oh
prostitutes is crazy.
yeah, all which is what we kind of are because we don't get paid.
That is
Um,
true.
but if you go to any audio streaming service, you can find episode 1. It is shit. It's a shit episode. You can barely hear shit.
Hmm.
So we're gonna look back at it in episode when we get to episode 100, and we're gonna be like, "Whoa, this episode sucked." But what I tell every podcaster, even though this is a bad example because we kind of did it, well, we did do it. Don't stop. Keep going. That's what I get from Joe Budden. Joe Budden's my guy. That's my dude. Even though he has allegations of beating women, which we don't. I try not to acknowledge, but you know, I don't know if he did. He kind of did it. He kind of said one time he sat on a pregnant woman's belly, which was like crazy. His advice was to not give up, not stop, not care about numbers, because that's another thing. We're in the stage where we put in a lot of effort to get what 10 views, 20 views, it's easy to feel dejected. I know I have. There's been times where I'm editing something and it's like 4 in the morning and I'm like, yo, why the fuck am I doing this if only 5 people are gonna watch this shit? But that's the point. But that's the stage that we're in now. If you look at all the popular podcasts, like the Joe Budden podcast, Joe Rogan podcast, the Basement Yard, all these shits, they're all like what, hundreds, thousands of episodes in. Like,
And really all it takes is like fucking a good block of episodes. A good like 10 block of episodes, and that could like just put you in a whole different other space, especially if you're like promoting it right, which I kind of fucked up and didn't promote the first episode back. You know, I'm a fucking
I
dick.
mean, I ain't
Go ahead, say it.
yeah,
But I
asshole,
honestly did.
asshole
But I did
behavior.
text. I did text you because I am not a social media person, and I forgot how to share the episode on social media, and you never responded back to me.
This is true. Yes,
Yes. So I'll
because you
take
work.
most of the fault for that, but I also did extend the hand. You did not reply.
I was too busy working because my girlfriend don't buy me shit.
Me, me too.
I had
Me
to make
too.
money.
So, a loss is a loss, but we always have to make sure every week we do better. Now, kind of don't want
Good one.
to, stay on this for too long, so I kind of want to move on to some real, not heavy topics, but kind of like
I love.
kind of
Is
get
this
kind of get your opinion on some things.
about it? Okay,
So
hit me.
I know you mentioned Drake because you always mention Drake, and
Do right,
I
kill
kind of want
everything.
you I kind of want you to finish up your thought on like substance, and why do you feel, so are you a fan of substance, or are you just a fan of a song with a good vibe and having a good time?
I'm a fan of substance. I can't get into Little Uzi. I can't get into Little Yachty's because I feel like there's
Mm,
no substance behind it. Which is kind of hypocritical because I'm into Drake and there's no substance behind Drake's music.
mm.
These days, I felt back there was somewhat substance in terms of like when he was talking about relationships and shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nowadays it's just him talking about, you know, being paranoid and having all this money and doing shit. And it's like, all right, sounds cool, but there's nothing really behind it. Um, I'm a fan of substance if it's genuine.
Mm,
Like coming from Kendrick Lamar feels genuine. You know,
yeah.
J.
And
Cole.
don't get me wrong, all the songs aren't slappers. Like all the songs aren't like the greatest songs I've ever heard in the world by Kendrick Lamar, especially on this album. But if you really sit there and listen to all the songs and listen to the songs for what their message is,
He's saying
lyrically
shit. Like
every song on that album is like
as
great.
a guy that has battled like self demons or self love issues and shit like that, my favorite Kendrick Lamar song is "You." You ever heard "You" on Pimp the
Yes,
Butterfly?
that is my favorite song also.
Because it's just how raw and
Yeah, it's
genuine that
insane,
he is behind that shit.
especially the second half of that song.
Exactly. Like I like substance from my artists if it's genuine. J. Cole, Drake, not Drake. I'm sorry. J. Cole, Kendrick, um, Killer Mike.
Killer Mike, I've always wanted to like sit down and really listen to, and I have it because he's I know he's held in like a very high regard of like,
Very political.
you know very political and kind of bringing certain things and ideas to light and things like that. So I haven't actually gotten the chance to sit down and listen to it,
Yeah, like
but
with Drake,
yeah.
there was this whole controversy recently. Not I don't know if it's
Mm.
controversy. Controversy might be too strong of a word, but there's always this thing. Why doesn't he talk about social media? Why doesn't he talk not social? Why doesn't he talk about social justice issues? And this is a question I leave back to you. Do you feel like artists have a responsibility to always talk about social justice issues? Whether it's not just musicians, but maybe like writers, directors, podcasters, artists in general. Do they have a responsibility? Maybe not all the time to put out something, but like
Yeah, yeah, definitely not all the time.
occasionally something about what's going on in our society.
I mean, I'm one of those people that believe that if you have a space in media, whether it's, you know, art or, video kind of media, whatever that may be, whether it's podcasting or audio is also podcasting. But if you're in any form of art, I feel like if you don't use your platform to speak on things that are important to you, or like, yeah, if you don't use that platform to speak on things that may be important to you or important to the world at times, then you kind of cheat your audience, because audiences, they see us, they see people in the media on their screens all the time, but they also see like negative things in the news all the time. And if they're always like, for the Drakes of the world, like if these people are spending millions, or a lot of their hard on money on buying records or buying albums or going to see you on tour, I feel like you have a grand stage to put your voice and your ideas on a very big stage that a lot of people are going to listen to, and yeah, I just feel like it's almost cheating them at some point.
To not talk about social justice issues.
Yeah.
Well, why is that my responsibility to talk? Maybe I just don't want to talk about it. Like, for example, just to
I
spin it back,
mean,
this is our platform.
mhm.
We don't talk about political issues.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure if someone had a political question for you to answer, you wouldn't hold back on giving your answer. Like
No, but
I
I've
feel like
never
there's been
tried to
plenty
get
of I
political on
feel
this
like
podcast.
I know it's not about trying, because even when these artists sit down and they have interviews, they're having interviews about their life and about their work. They're never going into it thinking, there could be a question in there that someone's going to ask me about Trump if I haven't been speaking about Trump, or what do I feel about Black Lives Matter, or whatever's going on at the world at that time. But you know, if you have an idea about it, or if you have a feeling about it, then I feel like if that question is asked, you wouldn't shy away from answering the question. Like me,
But that's the thing.
if I know I wasn't there to answer that type of question, but someone asked me that type of question, then and I had an actual formed opinion about it in my head, then I would speak on it. But if I
Let's.
didn't have a very concrete idea of what that person was talking about and have an idea of how I felt about the situation, then I would say, then I would say, well, I definitely would love to answer your question, but unfortunately, I don't know enough about it to give a truthful, heartful answer to
But,
you.
but
Instead of
let's.
saying like,
But
I'm not
let's
going
not
to answer.
say. Let's not say the question was asked though. Let's just say it just wasn't asked. Is there responsibility on your end to talk about? Like, is there responsibility on us to talk about what's going on in political climate these days, or social media, social climate? Like, let's just say the Black Lives
I
Matter,
think, I think, I think
the
it's,
thing going on right now.
I think that question gets answered based on your fan base. You know what I'm saying?
Based
Like
on your fan base.
if your fan base is asking for your opinion on it, then you should.
But what if they're not asking? That's the question, though. Like,
Then you don't. Then you
then
don't,
you don't
because
do it.
yeah, because I feel like your responsibility is to cater to what the people want to hear from you. If the people that listen
But
to you
nobody
and
knows
buy
what they
your
want.
albums,
Nobody knows what they want to hear from you unless you put it out there first.
well, I mean, you have all of these people that do album reviews and do fucking, interviews, or people on blogs, or even these all these celebrities have, social media and stuff like that. They can easily go on their, comment section, and maybe not, maybe artists refrain from doing that because they don't want to be in the comment section and reading all the negative stuff.
They
But
don't.
like,
You ever heard the
but like,
famous?
put it like people in the podcast space, right?
Mhm.
Like, or in the streaming, because people that stream for a living, like, one of the big people right now that I've come to be watching a lot is Kai Cenat. He's a
Kai
very big,
Cenat. That's how you say his name.
yeah, Kai Cenat.
I was
He's
gonna
a
say
very big,
K Cent.
yeah, nah, it's definitely Cenat,
Okay.
but he is like the biggest streamer in the world right now,
From the Bronx.
and And a lot of what he does is communicating with his fan base while he's on stream. They kind of, he always has an open dialogue with them about, what they would like to see him doing, what they would want him to try, how they want him to, what things they want him to do on the stream and stuff like that. And he caters to it within reason.
Well, I mean, so to give my
So I
opinion
feel
on the
like, so
situation.
I, but to tie it all in, if a person that is in that type of field can cater to his demographic that way, then what's stopping a person that makes music on a record label from trying to reach out and communicate to their demographic that
So,
way, and figuring out what they want to hear from them?
so you don't think Drake has a responsibility to do anything, to say anything about
I don't think I
social
don't think I don't
justice?
think he does. I don't think he does unless his fan base asks for it.
Even if he's the biggest artist in the world.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I agree with you. I don't think artists should have that responsibility where they feel like they need to talk about what's going on,
Yeah,
protests, this or that. I don't think it's fair. I think their art is their art. If my
yeah,
art is literally just to post donkeys on dogs' bodies,
yeah.
then that should be it.
But
It shouldn't have to be a
and you're
political
right.
thing behind
You're
it.
right.
And that's what I want this podcast to be. Like, sure, if big political issues or social justice issues come up, then obviously we'll talk about it. Like, if next week there's a big ass protest because of what's going on, then we'll talk
Mhm.
about it. But like, I always want this podcast to be somewhat of an escape of the tough world
Yeah,
that we live in.
and I feel like we do a very good job doing that.
We do an
But
amazing job.
yeah, but we don't shy away from doing what we want to do, but also making sure that we listen to what other people want. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. We
and
are.
I feel like that's how art evolves. That's how social media evolves. I feel like that's how just media in the world will get to a much better place when artists start really caring about, because right now I feel like music and everything and movies are just all the same, and all the same themes and all the same everything, you know? And I feel
Go a
like
little deep
there's
into that.
I feel like music is, no matter what artist you hear it from, I feel like music is just all the same. You know what I
Do
mean?
you have like an
Like, again,
example?
there really isn't like any substance. Like, no one is really talking about anything. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. I mean, it's rare. I mean, you have your
Yeah,
indie boom
and
bap
it's very
artists, but
very rare. I feel like the last thing that I heard that had any substance about current event things was probably, and that I found to be very good and like a repeatable listen, is The Heart Part 5 by Kendrick Lamar.
you wouldn't even
Personally.
count his album.
Huh?
You wouldn't even count his album. That's not fair. Because I feel like if
Well,
you listen to
because I
him,
feel I feel like not all those songs on the album is a repeat listen that is speaking with
no, it's a
substance.
tough.
You know what I
It's
mean?
definitely a tough. I know you haven't heard. You don't like Killer Mike, but if you listen to Killer Mike's last album, there's a lot of substance behind that. I forgot what it's
Yeah.
called, but he's on.
Yeah, but
He
I'm just saying I feel like that song specifically for me is the last song that I heard that had a really good amount of substance, that was a repeatable listen for me, as far as like what I've heard.
when can you listen to music with substance? Like, do you have
When
to
can I?
like? Can you be working and listen to that in the
Yeah,
morning? Can you listen to that?
I could. I could.
Yeah, I can't. I need to be like sitting in the train or the bus. Like if I'm working, I need to hear my nonsense.
Yeah, but I feel like that all goes to like the kind of job that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
I
if
mean, I
I'm
know I
if
have a shitty job. Say it again.
no, I'm not saying it's a shitty job, but
You
like,
said I got no money. My girl pays for shit.
if wow, you definitely said that yourself, brother. But
Yes, I know.
yeah, I mean, if I have a job where I'm, kind of talking to people all day, and it's kind of has to be like high energy, and I have to, have a welcoming presence about myself, and I had to listen to music throughout the day, I would want something that's very upbeat and kind of high energy, and it doesn't really need to be substance. It just needs to keep me, moving and keep me going. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But if I'm usually me personally, if I'm down like in an engine room and I'm just like cleaning up, straightening up, cleaning up engines, washing, wiping down, polishing, or fucking,
he
just
work.
doing my thing in the end.
You for people that are new to the podcast, when he says engine room, he works on a boat.
Yeah, so I'm a assistant engineer. That's just a fancy word for like
Slave to the
I
system.
deal I deal with a bunch of systems to help keep the boat running, whether that be electrically, mechanically, or like plumbing wise, I guess. But yeah, whenever I'm doing any of those things, I kind of like to listen to like very low substance things to kind of keep me focused on
Uzi.
like what I'm doing. I would never
You don't like Uzi?
not. I'm not a real big Uzi fan. I mean,
Not
there's
really
some
funny.
songs that I like, but I'm not an Uzi fan.
Speaking to
I like Jay-Z now when he comes out and he's like on a feature, he's dropping gems. So that's kind of like where I want Drake to be now because he already has all he has a very good catalog of timeless hits. So now just move into your very drop gems and be in that era of your life. But
I wish Drake's next album was like a 444. It won't be.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
exactly.
won't be because For the Dogs doesn't sound like that
It
type of
doesn't. It
album
doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't give a 444 kind of vibe.
vibe. So it's gonna be him on his bullshit. For the Dogs is
Yeah,
him on his bullshit. Um, but
I
then
feel like
that's
that's gonna give like Scorpion vibes.
can I say something, man? Can I be honest? I'm falling off of
But
Drake a little bit, and this is a
yeah,
big statement coming from me because Drake is baby daddy. Um, like I want to see him transition to that next period too. Like I'm
that's what I'm
tired of the
saying, bro. That's what I'm
bullshit.
saying.
Like hearing him talk.
And he was literally talking about that when he did that interview with Lil Yachty. He was just like, he's kind of introducing
I should
this
watch that
new
shit.
idea of like a graceful exit.
Yeah, like
And I don't think it has to be like a hard exit. It could just be like a Jay-Z exit. You know what I'm saying? You give us your 444, where it's just nothing but straight bars and it could be like a whole spread of your entire career,
well, it's also
which
like
I'm
to be
cool
fair,
with.
Jay-Z only did 444 because his wife did what she did.
Yeah, but like the whole album wasn't like because he cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like he took that opportunity to be like, "Yo, let me give you one song about like how I cheated, and then another song about like you know how black people could like get better credit and shit."
So
You know what I'm
hearing
saying?
exactly that's what I want to hear from Drake. Like I want to
That's
hear.
yeah,
I
bro.
want to. You know what? I want to hear more about his life as a father. Like I don't like. I like Her Loss, his last album with 21 Savage.
Yeah, that was good.
But like, I mean, like he has a line. I blew a $500,000 on these hoes. I'm a feminist. Like that's cool. But you're almost 40. Can we get something new from you, my guy? I
Yeah,
like you. I love Drake. I love
yeah.
Drake. That goes without saying. But
And you say it a lot.
I'm falling. Yeah, man. I'm falling off. You know, there was a time where I thought about making a
Well,
Drake only podcast for myself. I never
yeah,
did it
that's insane.
because I'm lazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But the albums that I'm looking forward to is Drake's album. I'm looking forward to my man Chris Stapleton. You know what I'm saying? He's dropping an album too. Don't sleep on Chris Stapleton.
I'm Morgan Wallen. I'm Team Morgan Wallen, even though he said the N word, which is not good.
Don't know who that is, but it's all right.
Country artist.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I'm Chris Stapleton all the way, brother.
Love that. You went to his
But
concert and you survived it
yeah,
as a black man.
I was there. I was there like a fucking unicorn.
This dude, yeah, and you survived. How
You know what it is? I wore a, I
terrifying.
wore a, I wore a plaid shirt
You
with a
look.
Carhartt shirt under, and like washed denim jeans, and I also wore Chelsea boots. I was in
Mm,
disguise.
you fit in. Nice. How many Confederate
Yeah,
flags did you see? Couple.
an uncomfortable amount.
Uncomfortable amount. But I feel like that's
Yeah,
the easiest way to fuck a white girl at a country concert. You wouldn't know because you're American.
probably. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
We thought
But
about
anyway,
it. Never mind.
let's
Never mind.
yeah,
Never mind.
let's move on.
You had a deep question. Wait, real quick before we get into your question that you had. The
Yeah,
deep.
yeah, yeah.
My favorite. My albums I'm looking forward to for the rest of the year. Post Malone. Even though I kind of said I was falling off of Drake.
Hmm.
I kind of want to see what J. Cole's gonna do with the fall off. I don't know if he's coming out this year.
I don't think it's gonna be this year though.
This year.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'm hoping it's this year.
Which kind of sucks.
You know who I'm thinking is dropping this year? It's been a minute since
Who?
he's dropped. Eminem.
Who?
I think Eminem's coming out.
I'm good.
You're
I'm good.
good.
I'm
What
good.
the
I'm good.
fuck, dude? Like
I'm good.
I know he's fallen off a little bit, but what the fuck, dude?
Nah, he hasn't fallen off. It's just like everybody has their time, bro. And I feel like he did his time, and like I'm good.
You're
Like
good.
I'm good. You don't got nothing else to prove to me.
He doesn't have nothing else. No, I'm not. He doesn't have nothing else to prove. But I mean, he. I.
Like Eminem is definitely in my Mount Rushmore. So
Hmm.
it's like you're good. You're good.
What do you think of the saying that he's only what he is because he's white? Like if he was black
It,
with the same skills,
that
he'd be a
makes
black
no
dude?
sense because fucking rap is an African American sport.
Do you think he'd be as popular if he was black?
I think so. I think so.
I think so too, because people compare him a lot to Cameron,
Camera?
the dude from Dipset.
No, I know who you're talking about,
People say
but
that because Cameron was in his early days, he was very like jokety with his raps.
yeah, he definitely. I mean, yeah, he definitely fit into a niche, like a very niche market of the
Hmm.
style of rap that he was rapping, and that's why I feel like he's good.
Yeah,
Like you definitely killed it in your space, and your space eclipsed the rap genre for a while. So like I'm good. So I got a couple
What
questions.
about you?
A couple
Yeah.
questions. It's kind of like you know, giving people an update on your mental status now that you are developing this relationship because you're a relationship man now. You just joined the club not too long ago.
Love.
So I got a couple questions. Uh,
So needs a shape up.
so who, me or you?
You.
Yeah, I do. It's crazy. I'm saving it for my birthday.
That's good.
That's another thing about having a good barber. So sometimes they cut you some really good deals, and I get a free haircut on my birthday.
Word?
Yeah.
They don't apply to you. They apply to other people because I'm come through. If I need a
Hey
haircut,
man. Hey.
let's test you for a second. Let's see let's see this man's mind before we get into this. When's my birthday?
Fuck.
Crazy.
You
That's
always do
crazy.
this to me. It's in my calendar though.
Is it?
Yeah, it's definitely in my calendar.
You
Anyway,
don't know about her.
now questions for you. So,
Got it.
in your relationship, how often do you treat yourself and or your partner, and is it part of your love language?
Um, what's treating? What's what?
Um, Treating yourself could be, you know, taking time for yourself. Maybe you like to go watch movies by yourself. Um, Maybe you like to buy yourself things. Maybe a snack that you like to just have by yourself. Um, or if you like to buy sneakers or glasses or blazers that are kind of one size too small, or V-neck shirts. You know, like whatever you're into. Do you find yourself now that you're in a relationship? Do you make time to treat yourself, or are you the type of person that you like to treat yourself by treating your partner to something, whether
Second,
it's just for her or something you guys can share together?
I don't treat myself on shit. You want to know something like embarrassing? But I'm gonna say it on the podcast because I'm for the podcast. I don't think I've bought clothes for myself in almost 3 years.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm not a big treat myself type of guy. I kind of hate myself.
I feel like that's kind of evident, But
So treating myself is kind of tough. I mean, all right. To be fair, I guess I did that today. So like, I'm a huge buffet guy.
really?
Like, you take me to, oh yeah, you take me to a buffet. I don't care what it is. You take me to a buffet, my dick gets hard, like rock hard,
Hmm.
instantly.
That's because all of
And
the sodium.
exactly. And today, today, I was like, you know what? Let me treat myself to a Chinese buffet.
By yourself. You
So
went by yourself?
I went myself to the Chinese buffet
Shit.
to treat myself for dinner. So I guess that counts. Other than that,
Would you say you treat yourself to like experiences? Like, do you like go watch movies by yourself? Do you like
obviously,
buffets?
the last movie I saw by myself was 2010 Scott Pilgrim vs. the
That's
World.
insane.
Good movie, but that's the last time. Oh, okay. Well, that was the last time I seen a movie by myself. I'm more of like I like to treat my partner more.
Okay.
I don't know if I treat her well. Oh no, I do
You
treat her
don't
well.
know if you treat her well. Not
I
good.
do treat her well, but when I mean treat her well, I mean like
Like
treat
what
her.
you give her.
Yeah, like we go to movies and shit. We'll go to restaurants.
Hmm.
Um, we'll go to food, all that stuff.
Yeah. Um,
So
what's kind of
we
like, has she ever like said, hey, I like this kind of thing, or I like these kind of gifts. I'm a person that, you can take me to Ulta Beauty and I'll buy a couple of, get me to buy a couple of.
the fact that you know what Ulta Beauty is insane.
I'm a fucking
Oh
husband, dude. I
yeah,
know the
I
game.
guess
I know the game.
she said Ultra. I looked at you like,
I
how the
I
fuck do you know
I,
that,
I know the game, boy. I know the game.
bro?
You can learn
Uh,
a thing or two from me, dog. Just let me know what's up.
I'm going to definitely now that I'm in this new world.
So
I'm
do you
definitely gonna be
so do you think that because you said you do like to treat your partner, do you think that that's part of your love language? Wow, I didn't I
my
didn't I didn't know this was a very hot topic question for you over there. For letting you in the
bro.
hot
It's
seat.
just we are in two opposite worlds right now. You are in a full on hoodie in July,
Central Air.
like that's crazy.
Central
You
Air.
even got the hood on, got the hood on, the choppy hairstyle. Like
Damn.
you are just crazy. I am sweating my balls off. I can't put the fan on because that would fuck up the podcast. Like I am dying right
Hmm.
now, but I do it for the love of the people.
Yeah.
I'm not a big gift giver though. That's the thing. Like I don't like. I mean,
So
I
do
try
you
to be
all right,
smart.
all right. So do you like words of affirmation? Do you like giving words of affirmation? Would you like
I
giving
think
words of affirmation, or would you like giving gifts to show appreciation?
words of affirmation.
You're a big give words of affirmation kind of guy?
Like you my baby,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah.
happy shit. The
Okay,
stuff
that's
that you
good.
want to let your boys hear.
That's good. That's good. I'm
What about
more
you?
of a I'm my love language is physical.
Like fucking
Yeah, yeah,
you fucker.
yeah.
Maybe
I wouldn't say I
man.
have like a high like sex drive, but like I mean it doesn't
You
even just have to be sex. Like I just like, you know,
want you like hugs and shit.
yeah, I like that physical shit. You know what I'm saying?
You like holding her from the back and just like
Yeah,
hanging on and
yeah.
shit.
Piggyback,
That's a lot.
piggyback. I like piggyback rides. Piggyback rides are lit. But
And then having her feel your shit between her cheeks.
yeah.
I like that shit.
But
That's what I be doing.
all right. So I got another question then. Do you think men or women should have spaces of their own? If so, how would you feel if your partner or significant other asked you for it? So I use the word space in a broader term, but by
Oh,
space I mean like, uh, maybe they like for instance, whenever I need my space in the apartment, Our common area is the bedroom, me and my wife. And whenever I feel like I want some time alone or some time to myself,
Throw out.
no. I will come to the living room, play the game, spend my, however many hours I am going to be over here, and then we will always reconvene back in the
It's
bedroom.
more of a. I feel like that's more of a question for you though, because you live together. I don't live with my girl, so I was
Yeah,
gonna
but
wait till.
like that's what I mean by like space. So like maybe, your girl's space or time away from you can be like reading a book and, not being on the phone for a couple of hours
All
or
right,
texting.
with this small space, if I wanted to go to the Drake concert by myself, I didn't want to invite my girl. I wanted to go by
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
Would you
Would your
qualify?
do you think your girl would have an issue with that if you went to the Drake concert by yourself?
Um, I would say yes, only because there was a time where she was working. No, no. She was gonna go to a concert by herself. She was gonna go to some emo band, and I'm not an emo guy,
Hmm.
so she was gonna go do that, and I was gonna go watch Spider Man myself. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I felt the type of way about her want to see this band by herself without me because I felt like a dick. I was like, damn,
Hmm.
like her thing was like, oh, the tickets are expensive. I'll get it for myself. All that shit.
Hmm.
I felt bad. Like, damn, because at the time the movie theaters wasn't as busy as it is now. Like I work at the movie theaters, people that don't know,
Hmm.
and now Barbie Oppenheimer and Mission Impossible, it's busy as fuck. But in early June, when it was just Spider Man, wasn't as busy. It was just Spider Man. It wasn't like crazy. She was gonna do that. I felt bad, so I told her, all right. I got over it, and I was like, all right, you go to the concert by yourself, whatever, and I'll go watch Spider Man again for the third time.
Hmm.
And her thing was like, no, I don't want you to go do it. I'm gonna feel bad. I don't want you to go do it because I want to see the movie too and all that thing. And then it's like, is it bad from wanting to go to a concert or a movie by myself?
I mean, I don't think it is. I think all relationships could benefit from
Time.
not
Yeah,
time
I mean,
not time away, but just establishing time for yourself, and then
boundaries.
also, within the time that you spend together. You know what I mean? Like
You
there
can't
used
do everything together with your partner.
yeah,
As
like
much
there used to be a
as much
there used to be a
as good.
time that me and my wife were like on top of each other so much that like even while I was at work, I was always still, texting her throughout the day and you know making sure she was good and still keeping up a level of communication, which isn't a bad thing.
You
But
should still communicate.
huh?
I said you should still communicate to this day.
Yeah, which I'm saying isn't a bad thing. But now that's kind of shortened, or
Yeah,
that's kind of it's not as drastic as it used to be, because when now that I'm really doing work that I enjoy doing, I really try to put my mind in that space. So like when I'm at work, I like to have my mind just there, just at work. I check in with my wife, throughout the day as much as I possibly can if I'm not like super busy and stuff like that, or when my lunch hour comes around, we'll send, TikToks back and forth and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't really, text my wife throughout the day. She'll text me like, "Hey, I'm going to the supermarket. Is there any couple of things you want me to grab?" I'll answer to that. But we really don't, like, when I'm at work, I'm at work. When she's at work, she's at work. But when we're home, I dedicate time to like giving her those first 2, 3, 4 hours while I'm at home. Maybe take an hour or two to myself, to play the game or whatever, take a shower, look at TikToks on my own. And then we always have like if she's still up by the time I decide to go to bed, we give ourselves some pillow time to like talk to each other and decompress about the day and just, be in each other's company before I go to sleep.
Travis Scott's having a concert next week at the Barclays Center. You want to go by yourself? Teresa's having a problem with that, yes or no?
No, Teresa is not having a problem with that. I specifically told her that if this album is good and he decides to do Astroworld again, I will be going. I asked her if she wanted to come. She said no because I don't want to die. And I said, that's cool because I have bills that I do not want to pay. And I'm all right if I have to go out, at an Astro World concert.
Better way to die. What better way to die
Yeah,
than you go and you're like, yeah, I died by Travis Scott's concert.
exactly.
I don't blame it. That's how I'd want to die.
Yeah.
Among many ways.
Well, I'm glad that we took this time to, kind of, give you some advice to make sure that this relationship is trending in the right direction. It sounds like you're doing a very good job. So I would like to say, keep up the good work. You know
You're
what I
my
mean?
love guru. You're the fucking.
Yeah,
And
man.
we used to have that segment back in the day.
Yeah, I know. This is more of a updated version of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to call myself the love guru. I just need to be the love guru.
The love guru. And this is also a little behind the scenes for our audience.
Hmm.
This is the first time Freddy ever came prepared to an episode. Or the first time I remember in a very long time.
It's happened before, but not to this extent. I would say.
Yes.
I say this is
Round of applause.
this is very coordinated. I'll do it. I'll do it for myself.
Do it for yourself. Always gotta applaud yourself.
But
If we gonna do it.
now that we got that in order, I think that this is an appropriate time for one of your illustrious quotes. You did a very good job last week. I don't think that it was T-shirt worthy or merch worthy. I think if you can get it into like less words but make it just as impactful, maybe we can do something with it. So try to give the people something that they could take with them after sitting with us for about an hour and a half, just going through the motions. You know what I mean? Relationship stuff, celebrity stuff, the huge. Send us home with a little bit of structure.
Okay.
Keep that theme going. But ladies and gentlemen, David's quote.
Pain and fear is just an illusion. Life is what you make of it. The present, what you feel, is what you make of it. This quote is what you made of it.
That was good. That was good. It was very bumper sticker ish.
Not a shirt.
Not a shirt, but bumper sticker. Bumper sticker is still good.
I'm still rusty, man.
Yeah.
Who else comes off a 2-year break and just like knocks it out the park?
Yeah, and dropping gems. You're right.
We'll find out if Travis Scott can come up with a 5-year break and knock it out
I
the
hope
park.
so. I really do.
K-pop.
Yeah, K-pop is not a hot start, but you did good there. I like that one very much. We'll see if we could probably do something with that. I'm pretty sure we will not, but again, it was still great. Still great. 10s all around. David, please let them know where they can find you.
At David Angelo 97 on Instagram, at David Angelo 97 on Twitter, the boy _237 on Snapchat, at the Anything Goes Podcast on Instagram, and your mom's bedroom. Go ahead.
Nice. And you can find me on Instagram at Fredo_Medina on Instagram, and you can follow me there. You can also follow the Anything Goes Podcast on Instagram at the Anything Goes Podcast, where we post clips, we promote. I'm going to do a better job of that. And you can also hit the link in bio, and it'll take you to all past and current episodes, so you can catch up with us and rejoin us on our journey to getting on a network. You know what I mean? And really, really knocking this shit out of the park.
We'll get that 8-figure deal.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, please like, comment, follow, share, tell your mom, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your aunt, tell your side bitch, and we will catch